So I was in Nigeria recently, and a friend of mine came up to me, and as we got talking, somehow we got talking about banking and all that stuff, and she told me her experience with GTBank, how they told her that she took a loan from the bank, and she was supposed to pay the loan back. Problem is, she doesn't remember ever taking a loan from the bank. Well, I told her, well, you go to the bank and have a conversation with them and let them investigate and see if there's an error somewhere. She did go to the bank like she said, but the trouble was too much for her. I was of the opinion that she should really investigate the issue and get it solved. But the Nigerian thing, she didn't have the time to fight it and all that stuff, so she gave it up. Well, let me say this: I have been with GTBank for over 20 years plus, and I've not had issues with them. Of course, besides the charges that come with regular banking, which I think should be the same with every other bank. But I've been with them for over 20 years, and I've not had any major issues besides when they tried to change their software. I think that was what they said, and so many things happened. And I think that was a general thing with everybody. So for me, it was an issue of go talk it with the bank. She did, and she said they gave her a run around, and she gave up the whole thing. I have been with GT Bank for over 20 years, and I've not had any issues with them. If I've had any issues with GT Bank, it might be the issue of, regular bank charges. But when I heard VDM talk about this same account issue with loan and all that stuff, I was a little concerned. I said, oh my, this looks like the same story that my friend told me when I was in Nigeria. But again, I didn't take it to be anything, because you have to be sure of what you're talking about. This whole thing is all alleged. There's no concrete evidence that this is even happening. I do not believe that GT Bank is ripping people off. I would think that, hey, there might be one or two system malfunction that GT needs to look into and see what's going on. VDM said he was going to look into it. He was going to go to the bank. He was going to investigate. He was going to talk to the people, the way he does his thing and all that fun stuff. And then I woke up the next day and I was told that, oh my, he was arrested at the bank, allegedly by GT Bank. I don't know if GT Bank was responsible for the arrest. GT, I don't think, has put up any statement yet to claim that they are responsible for that arrest. So we have to wait on that and be sure. But my thing is, if he was arrested after going to GT and he was arrested in GT's premises, doesn't look really good for GT Bank, because it looks as though the bank is trying to hide something. I've been in banking for close to 2 decades. I was a banker in Nigeria, and I was a banker here in the United States. So yes, things can happen within the banking system. Softwares can malfunction. But if you have a good system, it will always be rectified. What I expect from GT is to carry out an investigation into all of these events that people are talking about, to know whether or not it is happening. And if it is it true? Are people manipulating the system? Now, I understand these are small amounts compared to the billions of daily transactions that GT indulges in. You don't expect them to be worried with the small 200,000 naira, 300,000 naira events. But whether you like it or not, the persons that are feeling this impact are feeling it on a large scale, because that may be all they have. So what do I expect GT to do? Investigate the issue. Find out if there is any truth to what the people are saying. And if there is, fix it. Arresting VDM, I don't think is the best. It doesn't give a good look to the bank. Because now you're presenting yourself to the court of public opinion to be judged. And people would say you're guilty and that's why you're trying to cover stuff up. I don't think you're covering things up. But I also do not think that the approach is right. So release VDM. I don't know the guy, but I think he's fighting a good cause in most cases. And I don't think Nigerians should be quiet and just act like it's nothing, like, oh, he's been arrested. All right, that's it. Because if they arrest him today, they might arrest you tomorrow. If people are speaking concerning what they're going through, I think the best to do is hear them out and not to arrest them.